Saludos y bienvenidos everybody to episode 100 of the PGP podcast. 100. Dios mío. Give me another language. Give me the name 100 something else. Hey, Josh Tobat, prop principal of Memorial Pathway Academy in Garden, SD, Garland, USA. Ready to rock and roll. We're going to let our hair down, even though I have no hair. We're going to let our hair down a little bit today because normally we're very structured and we have a bunch of guests coming in. But today is just going to be a reflective moment, and it's called Vamos a hacer tamales. Vamos a hacer tamales. Dr. Chunu said, Tovar, are you going to make tamales? No, I'm not going to make tamales. But we'll get into that a little bit right now. Hey, Josh Tovar, proud principal of Memorial Pathway Academy in Garden, SD, Garden, USA. Right now, ready to make sure that we learn from each other on this Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. Time stamping the podcast. Happy Easter. I hope you had time to reflect. Most importantly, to enjoy scripture with your family, breakfast with your family, whatever it is, that joyous time around the world. And blessings to everybody out there. I'm very blessed by everything that he's given me and this podcast and Dr. Moreno, his blessings of his son on this day right now. Remember that we are part of the Fantastic Four Network with Super Saturday. Super Saturday, we have Coach Sean Hurt, who was off this Saturday and next Saturday because he's checking out his son being part of basketball leagues. And then after that, at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, we've got Shika and Tammy, the doctors, talking about culture, their platform, their rubric on success and how to turn around a school, 3-letter grades in 1 year. They walk the walk. They have the receipts. And El Jefe at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, Principal Cafele, who had the middle school principal of the year this past session on Saturday. We are part of the Fantastic Four Network, so thank you for being here. Please remember to like and share right now. Ahorita, por favor, ahorita. Just go. I forget about it. Even though Jefe says it, even though Shika says it, even though everybody, all the podcasts that here, they say like and share it. Like and share it. Right now. Go, boom. Click on it real quick. Like and share. Make sure that you're part of sending this algorithm out there. Make sure you're part of this whole session of exchanging ideas. And today's kind of more of a kind of relaxed kind of day right now, but making sure that you are part of this show. Moreno, ¿cómo estás?
Josh, I'm doing amazing. Look, I'm with my spiders. I'm in Houston, Texas, and I am so happy to celebrate this moment together with you, Josh. 100 episodes. Now, I can't say for me it's been consecutive because you know me. I go off, I travel, I do some really weird things that I am not able to be near internet. So I apologize for not 100 episodes with you, but you know what? Together we are celebrating it on the 100th episode. So I couldn't miss it for the world. It doesn't matter if it was Christmas or Easter. It doesn't matter. I want to tell everybody, first of all, happy Easter, everybody. Bless all the families out there. It was a wonderful Sunday. I hope everybody enjoyed their way of celebrating, whether it is going to church or Easter hunt egg. Easter egg hunting parties, or just being at home. I am here at home, and I just absolutely loved the nice quiet time, Josh. It's nice to be home and working on my book because I've been working on chapter 3 of 5 chapters, but it's coming along, Josh. One day I will have it done.
I love it. And I wish I had Dr. Fonz here. Thank you, Fonz. I see your comment. I don't know. I called Restream. I'm even using 1980s terms. I messaged Restream to try to help me because we can't see the chat like I did before. It's all right. We'll overcome all obstacles in life. But remember, if you want to be part of this broadcast, reach out to Mari, reach out to myself, because it doesn't matter where you're at, whether it be Maine or Florida, whether it be Alaska or Hawaii, or anywhere in the 48 middle, we're all in it together. And it's about building those connections. And I'm very blessed at this show right now. I've got Constance Sherrard. Shout out to you, Constance Sherrard, for being here. Fonz, you know what? Fonz was my first true podcast that I listened to consistently during COVID, and it was you, Fonz. You got me into listening to all these podcasts. So love your spirit, love who you are as an individual, getting me into this stream. Not to be no pun intended right there. So if you want to be part of this show, please reach out. We're a little bit like not off because we're very structured, but right now it's kind of hard to go with the flow and with all these technical difficulties. But our show, the number one, we have two goals here. Goal number one is to share each other's experiences. In other words, you're not alone, making sure that you are always working together and learning from others because you need to learn from people that have the receipts. All right. And number two, our second goal, purpose of this show is to make sure that we connect others. So whoever's on this broadcast, the last 100 shows, 99, we have a big spreadsheet and we try to connect everybody because in the end, it's about learning from each other. Iron versus sharpens iron. So if you want to be part of this, please reach out to us. And I can tell you, this is not a niche show. This show has everything: speakers, conferences, authors, APs, teacher
Bus drivers.
roundtables, bus drivers, cafeteria workers. We're all part of this show, and you are an integral part of it because of your feedback back and forth. But you know what? Part of this connection is making sure that I have grown as a professional by having individuals like the next young man from Florida. He's a rock star. He also plays guitar. He's a Cinderella fan. He's a Metallica fan. He is Adam Lane, who is here today to talk to us. Now we're going through some technical situations, and that's okay. We will overcome them. But Adam, welcome to the show. He wants to talk to you about, I saw him promoting some of his stuff, and I said, you know what, iron sharpens iron. You have the receipts, sir. So I said, come on the PGP podcast and talk to us about the great things you're doing for educators. Adam, welcome to the show, and tell us what you're doing.
Hey, Josh, Marie, thanks for having me. This is actually my third time out of 100 episodes, so I feel honored that I made 3 out of 100. But yeah, thanks for having me on. Happy Easter, everyone. And Josh and Marie, thanks for allowing me to come on. As we have some awesome online PDs coming up that I want to share with you. Anyone can join. So we're going to pull up some slides to show you the information. In these sessions, I work with the Nevada Department of Education and the Nevada Association of School Administrators. So we collaborate. We bring in guest speakers. These are 8-hour PDs. They're on Saturdays. They run from 8 to 4 Pacific Standard Time. We take a half-hour break right in the middle of the day. And what's fun is I take requests from the audience and I play anything. You mentioned Cinderella, Metallica, you name it. We take 2 song breaks every hour. We crank up the speakers on our laptop. We get another Red Bull, another coffee, whatever we need, use the restroom. During our lunches, I play the requests for the music. But it's a great time. We have 10 total sessions. 4 of them have just finished, but we have 6 coming up. And it's just a great time to meet with passionate educators, statewide and nationwide. And what's really neat, if you're in the state of Nevada, if you're an administrator, a teacher, a support worker, a bus driver in the state of Nevada, they earn half a credit for each Saturday. And that half a credit goes towards license renewal. And if you have your license renewal caught up, you can use these credits for step advancement on salary bonuses. So a lot of cool things going on. But anyone from any state is welcome to join these. Our first one coming up is Saturday, April 11th. And what's nice, you can see everything right there. And I don't need to read it all to you, but I do want to highlight the speakers. Robert there has been a guest of yours many times. I think the last I counted, he has 14 books out there right now. I was featured in his most recent one, which was my last visit. But, he's at Tyrone Elementary out there in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then we have Monica coming on. She's a trainer and facilitator. She'll be coming in from Austin, Texas. And then we have Derek, which was strong with the NASSP, is where I met him. And you know him too, Josh. But he's a retired principal now, and he's going to join us coming in from Desert Sands, California. So what's neat, I kind of run and facilitate the whole hour, 8 hours, but I bring these guest speakers in for 60, 90 minutes, 2 hours. So you'll have 4 perspectives on the topic of support to succeed, building the systems, educator growth, and student achievement. And then the next one, and you can just pick and choose, you can come to all of them. The one on April 25th is really one of the most emotional sessions. Is Frank from Columbine High School and Andy from West Liberty, and then you got Kevin there. What's unique, these were principals that led a school that had some type of school shooting, whether it be a teacher or a student, or in this case, Kevin was actually shot by a student on his campus and talks about it. But really unique situation on school safety and how a community and a school rebuilds and moves to the next level after such a tragedy, and how do you prevent the tragedies. So that's our second one. Our third one is going to be coming up on May 9th. And David's been a guest of yours a few times, NASSP friend of ours, and in 2022 he was the state principal of the year for Texas. The same year I was the state principal of the year for Florida. So he's going to be coming in. And then Scott in 2022 was the state AP for New Jersey, and he's now gone on to be a principal. And Besma is coming in from San Diego, California, and they're all going to share along with me how family and community engagement in schools, how these key outcomes on students. So that'll be May 9th. And then as we move through the month of May, on May 16th, I'm bringing in Nicolette, which is an elementary teacher right here in Hillsborough County, Tampa, Florida. She's going to share a lot, and she was the 2024 Hillsborough County Public Schools Teacher of the Year. Also going to bring in Kimberly from Cypress, Texas, and she's a math curriculum coach, and she's really going to talk about the alignment between curriculum, instruction, and assessment with math and how we move students forward. And then Dr. John Mann, my favorite professor of all time. He's the senior director at the University of South Florida, 20 minutes down the road from me. And we are all going to collaborate on the curriculum, instruction, and assessment piece. And then we're going to finish out May, the third session in May, on May 30th, decision making. We all make decisions every day, multiple times, but are we making the best decisions? How do we make the best decisions? How do we reflect on the decisions we make and our campus? But we're going to bring in Lewis, which was the 2022 Principal of the Year from the state of Mississippi. And then Missy is a reading interventionist. She works for Florida Virtual School statewide, but she's based right here in Largo, Florida. And then again, Dr. Mann's going to give us his expertise from the University of South Florida on his second topic. And that'll wrap up the end of May. In our last session, session number 10 for the school year, will be Saturday, June 6th. And we're going to focus on mastering the school year, a strategic guide to staying organized and stress-free. And we put this one last because school's going to be ending. We're going to be going into summer break, and we just want to get a grip on planning the next year and how do we stay stress-free. But Michelle will be coming in from Galveston, Texas. She's an elementary principal out there. And then Trish is a leadership coach and speaker. She's joining us from California. And then we got Derek, which is an awesome high school principal over there in Virginia. So 4 sessions are over. We still have 6 coming up. We got 2 in April, 3 in May, 1 in June. You can sign up for all of them. You can pick and choose whatever fits your schedule. And the best place to go is the NASA website, which is the Nevada Association of School Administrators. That's nasanv.org. You can also go to any of my connections, from LinkedIn to X to Facebook, my school website, my business website, whatever you need. I run the sessions, I lead the sessions, but be ready to rock and roll, be ready to learn, be ready to share, and be ready to network nationwide with some of the premier leaders in education. And that is your Leading Lane session wrap up.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate that, brother. Tell us again, how can people get a hold of you?
If you want to go directly to sign up for the sessions, you can go to nasanv.org. And NASA is the Nevada Association of School Administrators, and NV is nevada.org. Or you can go to leadinglane.com, or you can just type in Leading Lane, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. You'll see all the links there for all the sessions. And the nice things, if you're not sure, you can sign up until midnight the night before a Saturday when the session starts, but it closes at midnight the night before. And you can sign up for all 6, or you can pick and choose. And usually someone picks one and they have such a good time, they come back for 9 more.
Love it. Thank you very much. And right now it's hiring season. And the very first time I heard Adam was at NASSP in Denver. And one of his sessions was how to hire and create that total cycle of your former scholars to stay within your campus and then create that longevity, because they know what that culture is of your campus. So if you want to have a good idea on how to hire from within long term, that's your cat right there. Did I get it right?
That was perfect. I couldn't have said it better, Josh.
There you go, brother. Well, thank you very much for being here. God bless you. Have a great Easter with the rest of your family, and keep on doing what you're doing, brother. God bless you.
Bye, Adam.
Bye.
All right.
Oh,
So,
Josh, that was so much fun.
that
Hey,
is.
Josh, can I suggest something before
Go ahead.
before you get started?
Yeah.
If there's a topic that somebody wants to discuss, what's the easiest way that our viewers can suggest some of these topics? I think that'll be fun.
I think that you see. Can you see the screen right now, Moreno? I don't know, everybody out there, because we only have 4 people, and we never have only 4 people. Can you see the screen right now? How it has the thread?
All the names, yeah, it has all the threads, but it's
and that's not no bueno. You see, that's no bueno. And normally the thread is over here, and I can't move it
it's
over.
usually on the bottom.
Yeah, so I just put it in between us right here. So I'm just adapting and improvising.
I'm just gonna move to the side
Yeah,
over
we'll
here.
just- over here. Well, if you have an idea or anything, the majority have my cell phone. Tell me, and we'll type it up there. That's the best that we could do right now, because I'm on the chat version. You see that, Moreno? And it doesn't allow me to type anything like before. It wouldn't let me allow to type anything whatsoever, even on the captions. So let me see. Hello. Everyone's like, I'm gonna tune you out, bro. It's Easter, and then you're playing around right now. All right, we digress. We're gonna go back to plan D right now. All right. So everybody out there, we're just gonna read your thread, and I cannot spotlight the comment. I'll call Restream in a little bit after the show. And for the rest, it's called Vamos a hacer tamales. If you know or you don't know, when your family's together, you buy like 7,000 pounds of corn husk, and then you buy like 10 tons of cornmeal, masa. And then you got abuelita on the side who's making that special meat for the rojo tamales and the verde tamales. And then you got this group over here that's making the chile, the green chile with cheese, and you put some green chile inside of the cornmeal, and then you put in, I don't know, Jefe. I don't know what's up with Restream. You use StreamYard. I use Restream. I don't know what's going on. Principal Cafela, thank you for being here. My sister, Shika Houston, Dr. Shika Houston, thank you for being here. Well, what we do is we're always just talking nonsense. When you're doing la embarrada, what is embarrada? You're smearing on the corn husk. Embárralo bien. I don't know, Jefe. I might allegedly this was better. I might have to go to StreamYard, but I got all these shows right here. Um, and so when you're making tamales, you smear them and you're just talking nonsense, right? So the other part is if you all remember, I'm gonna show my age. So if you guys don't know the reference, tough, deal with it. I'm Gen X. What's the lady that said, "Can we talk?" She was a very famous comedian. You remember her? You remember her, Moreno?
You mentioned her before. Say her name. Is it a
Joan
Barbara
Rivers.
Streisand or something? Oh, Joan
No.
Rivers. Ándale,
Oh
Joan
my
Rivers.
God. Oh my God, Moreno. Come on.
Hey,
You have
I'm
to
an
be.
X too. I'm an
Oh
X
my
too, so no
God,
judging.
Moreno. God, no, give her cheater. Can you believe that? She doesn't know who Joan Rivers is. She's my age. I know you assimilated like I did, Moreno. Stop it. We all we heard was Joan Rivers. Or I know this one. I know this one, Moreno, because you would be at the clubs. Things that make you go, from
Hmm.
Arsenio Hall.
Yes.
So now you know that one.
I do know Arsenio Hall.
All right. So I went into my AI products.
Oh,
This is
that's
Josh's AI. All right. All of you using chat this and Gronk that, and I've not used it yet. Other than this is my AI 3x5 cards. So I'm gonna let someone from the audience, Jefe, give me a number between 1 and 17, Jefe. And I'm gonna read the statement. This is just a generic statement. I don't you want to say whatever you want to say? Say. But these are common things that are spoken about in the teacher's lounge, at conferences, at PD sessions at the district level. These are comments that are said, but are said
no se habla.
hush
Oh,
hush.
he said
Oh,
17.
Jefe, you want 17? I was right there. Jefe, all right.
The last one, of
I am
course.
just gonna throw it out there, and I can't post your comments. I am so sorry, everybody. I am shortchanging everybody because I cannot click on your answer, but I will read it off of my screen right now. So this is the statement. I don't agree with administration when they spotlight only the people doing good, the runners, because hold on, Dot. I'll get you to number 10 right now. I'm going to repeat it again. If we all know Ron Clark's book, he believes in spotlighting runners, the people that are the overachievers, the ones that are driving the bus. So I do or you don't agree with administration when they spotlight runners. What do you think, Moreno?
You know, Josh, that's a tricky one because, you want to highlight those people, but at the same time, you shortchange everybody else who has not stepped up or want to be in that spotlight. Because let's be real here. Some people don't want to be spotlighted, even though they're the ones who are doing the work, right? And so, it's almost kind of like you have to know who this person is to figure out if you really want to highlight them or not. That's kind of how I see it. What do you think?
And I'll give you this one. I believe in what he says because I agree with what you said in regards to the runners more often than not are not looking for the kudos. The runners are doing the job. They're doing the work because that's who they are. I've talked with other administrators before, or even with colleagues at different levels, that we look at each other and we say, why don't they think like us? Well, isn't that just like common sense? But then when you get into a bigger group, a bigger thought process, a bigger thought collective,
Mhm,
people
mhm.
don't all think like runners. A runner knows to get there. They get there early. They leave there late. They try to grade everything at school, and if not, they take out their big 7 duffel bags of papers to grade. They do all those things. They're at every volunteer at this committee, that committee. They do all those things. But I know for a fact that we need to make sure that we always spotlight their success because you know what? if you believe in it or you don't believe in it, I do. Success breeds success. And when you get hired as a leader, whether it be department head, whether it be a head football coach, whether it be an assistant principal or whatever, you want to make sure that when you're there as the leader, that the people under your sphere of influence, your leadership, that they follow with what you bring to a table because they hired you. Moreno, they hired you to be the principal.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
there's a reason why that committee and the superintendent selected you.
mhm.
And you want to make sure that when they placed you there, the higher ups were knowing this person brings this craft to help this building. Hopefully, hopefully, we know it doesn't happen sometimes. And when you get there, you got to make sure that you implement your vision for that group, that whole PLC. Remember what? It's PLC right, not PLC light. Like Solution Tree says, we got to make sure that it's for everybody that gets
Mhm.
on board. And I believe that we always need to spotlight the things that are adhering to what my vision is, what your vision is. And those people that do it consistently, that's the role model to be expected that will help the kids in the classroom. Does that make sense, or am I or we're
It,
speaking it?
it makes sense, Josh, but I really think, honestly, that we are now in a different kind of era. Just again, just speaking to people that I've spoken to along the way. You
Uh-huh.
know, I used to be at that thinker just like you. But we have some folks that are much more quiet now. They'll do the work, they'll do everything that you can, but they don't want the attention. Because somehow, some way, we've kind of gotten into this way of the haters out there. And we talk about those people all the time, those haters that are always kind of saying bad things about other people, even though we don't want those people on our campus. The fact of the matter that is that they're there. But at the same time, you have the people that are doing the work that don't want the spotlight either. So I just think I believe in what you're saying. I remember being a principal and I would have, my employee of the month. I would have my, I would highlight that as well. But at the same time, you almost have to kind of be mindful of the people that you are spotlighting, because some people want to be kind of praised in a much more private manner because they don't really want that type of attention, that spotlight. I don't know. It's one of those tricky topics.
It is, of course. It is. How does that look on the screen, Moreno?
Better keep it like that.
Yeah,
At
you got
least
that?
you can see it on the side and it's not on your
Yeah.
faces.
And I don't know how I got there, so
Right
it's all right. Okay, Dot McKeever Jeter, our coach, our cheerleader. Any comments out there, guys? Should we spotlight or not spotlight
We
the
have two
brothers?
different opinions here, guys. So, I mean, please. I mean, Josh says, yes, do it. And I'm saying, yes, do it. But, so, I'm interested to see what other people think.
Right? All right, all right.
Just so that you know, Josh, that I don't always agree with you.
Of course. We're not supposed to agree with each other at all. Number 10. Number 10.
Let's see.
I don't agree that after 20 years I need to attend any PD.
What?
I do or don't agree that after 20 years I need to attend PD because Moreno, that you have team members that have been in the same campus for a long time, and then when they go to PD, they sit there and they say, "Oh, we've done this before. Oh, I have that book. Oh, we tried this in the past. Oh, this doesn't work. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, Moreno?
Yes, hold on. I'm getting something that's very appropriate. Can you hear this?
Go ahead."
It's the violin.
The
I've heard that
violin.
before.
Right? Let's see. Constance Sherrard, who is a love fan and supporter of PGP, agreed. Dr. Moreno, education has shifted. Spotlight is needed, but this is where leaders can be intentional about encouraging all staff members. Good evening, Dr. Melissa Jones Jr. out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thank you for being here. Soon a guest on her new book that she's featured on. So what do you think about that, Moreno? What about those people that say they've been there, done that, bought the book? We've done it before. What do you think about that, Moreno?
You know, Josh, I'm a strong believer of you always learn something new, regardless of how many times you've heard the Kool Aid or drinking the Kool Aid. The Kool Aid. I'll give you an example. I do you remember the um psyop training back in the day, back in the early '90s, 2000. We had psyop training. I think I had about maybe 1,000 hours on psyop training because I would always look into that. And you would think, you know what, I'm tired, I don't want to see this anymore, I think I've seen every single PD out there. But I would sit, and I know you do this too, Josh. I would sit in my faculty meetings when I had a presenter come in. I would sit with my faculty because it's important for faculty members to see that I as a building leader will sit there even though I've heard this PD years and years, because it's the same. You do fundamental 5, for example, you bring fundamental 5 all the year every year. But so similar to me, I would do psyop training with my faculty, and I would sit there every single time with my teachers. And when my teachers would say, I've seen this, I've heard this, I would say, think of a way of how you can use this, because a presenter is different. There may be new information that you didn't capture the first time, but there's always something new that you're going to pick up, whether it's a new incident, a child that you were you were struggling with, and now with this fresh mind and this fresh delivery of information again, that you're going to pick up something new. Or pose those questions to those presenters. They're the experts, right? So ask them, hey, this is a situation I encountered last year. How can I support this student using your resources so I can better support a student like this in the future? Something like that. But there's never, ever, ever a reason why a teacher, just because they've been there a zillion years, doesn't mean that they shouldn't be attending training, because we learn something new. And with AI now, oh my God, we got to get on top of everything and on top of our game, because students will they'll challenge us, and we got to be able to challenge our students as well, because if not, they'll get bored.
Agreed. Constance Gerard said the generations of educators have shifted from Gen X here to alphas. Oh my Lord, those alphas. Oh, Dios mío santo. You're so right. Ponle más masa a ese tamal. Embarrale más. Put some more corn on that corn husk right there. Yes, we need to be lifelong learners. I agree with you. And I think I read the thanks to Shika Houston. I I we began across the building, drop everything and read. 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the afternoon. So 20 minutes each day. Our Jaguars are reading. Everybody, the whole campus is reading. Unless people come in, the receptionist stop, but everyone's reading. And I've already read my favorite book, The Four Agreements, twice. And the 2 times I read it, I picked up something brand new, even though I've read that book countless numbers of times before. So it's one of those things, because you as an individual, you change and you adapt the message of the same words that were written years ago to what your new paradigm in life is. So I totally I see where you're coming from with that. Dot McKeever Jeter, I don't agree. You need PD so you can grow. How you receive it depends on the person's mindset, their conscious level. They must be open and receptive. It's just like watching the same movie over and over. You always see something. Yes, that's what I just said. Exactly. Yes, Shika, thanks to you. Thanks to you. And everyone has been totally absorbing. Drop everything and read. Shika, give me a number between 1 and 17. Come on, Shika. Give me a number. I'm taking on my AI engine. Come on, Shika. Give me a number between 1 and 17. Come on. Come on. Want to know anything else on that thought of
She's
PD for those seasons?
thinking. Oh my goodness, Josh. There it is, 16. Let's go with 16, Josh. What you got?
Shika, if I have the tardy or cell phone or dress code issue in check in my room, I feel I shouldn't have to follow school or district policy because
What were the reasons again? Tardy, dress code.
those are the things, right? tardy dress code or cell phone. And you know how some team members, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. We have lockouts, and what do? They let the kids in, right? How many of you out there? How many of you out there have had a girl out of dress code the first 4 hours of the day, but then they get to that teacher? I'm not just trying to discriminate, but that female teacher, and she sends him to the AP, and then the assistant principal's office says, "It's 1 in the afternoon, and they're barely sending you to us." Come on, tell me that doesn't happen. Call me a liar, somebody out there.
It does. It does.
Tell me that doesn't happen. So, what do you think about? Do you think people should follow it or not follow it?
Josh, it goes back to consistency. You know, you have to, you talk about this all the time where at the beginning, everybody's kind of doing their thing. And then come November, December, people are not following the rules and you start losing control. And so you have to be consistent with your staff, consistent with your students so that they know. Because the first thing they do, you know, Josh, why are they always complaining about me when everybody else is doing X, Y, and Z? And then you get that nonsense. So, I mean, it goes back to, again, being consistent and making sure. I know there's some teachers that's how they build their relationships with their kids, right? That's how they're like, you know what? No digas nada. Just give me the cell phone. I'll give it to you later. Something like that. I get it, right? I completely get it. And maybe, you know, I guess as a teacher myself, I would probably do the same thing. Because again, I want to build that trust with the kid. But, you know, Josh, you got to pick and choose your battles, Josh. You just got to pick it. It's kind of hard when it's dress code because todo el mundo lo va a ver. Everybody else is going to see it. So unless you're going to give them a pair of pants, which I probably would have done that too. I had pants in my room. I had shirts in my room. Again, cámbiate, change before someone says something to you.
It's true. It's true.
But you know, that's me. That's something, and I understand why teachers do that, but it's hard to control a school as a principal, right? When you have teachers doing that, when they just flat out say, I am not going to follow the rules because, or I didn't see it or whatever. You know, it's kind of hard to run a school that way.
Let's see, Shika, I used to tell my teachers that is what we all agreed to in our vision meeting. Now I told my teachers, don't slam doors in students' faces. You see them coming. And that's what it is. And I think that what Shika's saying, and a little bit to your point, Marty, but we know that that's it. We have to deal with the ripple effects. When I say we have to deal with the ripple effects, it's about, when I say we, it's the administration, because then you can't be frustrated with us as administrators in the classroom if not everyone's rowing in the same direction.
Correct.
Because the cool teacher, and you want to call it or not, I'm sorry, I was never the cool teacher. I was a strict one. I was never the cool teacher because you know what? If our admin said these are the lockouts, not only did I adhere to it, I was the lockout guy. In other words, you held detention with me. I was the one holding the detentions. And so what that does is that then it creates, as Jimmy Casa says, an undercurrent, because you could have a hallway of 8 teachers, right? And then all the kids are sprinting to 6 out of the 8 teachers, and a set of kids are walking to those 2 teachers because they know they're not going to close the door. And then if you don't have an administrator there, or an administrator not looking at the cameras, those kids walk in late with their Whataburger bag, with their McDonald's bag, you know, just walking in because they stopped at the vending machine to get something to drink. And the other kids get locked out. They go serve detention, and while those kids that were allowed by the cool teacher to go in late, then that creates an undercurrent against team members. Both of them are clashing because then I'm the jerk. I'm the one that followed the policy and you didn't. And I think that's the ripple effect that's created amongst the school.
Josh, but you know how I would deal with that as well? It's kind of what Shika talked a little bit about, heading straight on with the teacher. This is what I would do. I would get those kids and I would say, look, why didn't you run to the other classrooms? I was standing right there and you just kind of dozed right in, just walked in like nothing. I said, because, And then the kids would say, it's because my teacher is cool. And I said, but you understand now that I got to go back to that teacher and get her, in trouble, right? Sometimes you have to be honest with the kids and say, look, man, this teacher may be cool, but you're putting her in a bad position because she's being too, and I have to have that conversation with both, with the teacher and the students. So at least the students know that I am not disciplining them, but I'm also taking care of the teacher as well. But if you have that conversation with some of the kids will understand that, you know what? I don't want to put this teacher in a bad position, but I understand she's cool. So I need to go ahead and whenever they say lockout, follow the rules, even though, she may be cool in other ways, but she's just trying to follow follow the rules so that everybody else is on the same page. Some kids will actually get that. It just, again, it's that relationship building that you talk to the kids. I don't know.
I got you. But in the end, for me, I guess more on this conservative end, Moreno.
Josh, you know what? Let me
me,
tell you something.
on this
I'm going to
one,
have a show. I'm going to have a show with only my students because we've had 3 shows with your
this,
alumni.
on
And I
this,
want my kids to tell me what my receipts were.
on
That's
this,
it.
again, Moreno, on this side, we all need to roll in the same direction. And we need to have the wherewithal to have those conversations at whatever level. However you approached it, Mari, is the way different that Chica approaches it. I'm pretty sure that Constance, now that she's an assistant principal, Melissa Jones Chunu, assistant principal, we all handle it in different ways. We all have our
Mhm.
personalities. We all have our format. But if we don't address the undercurrent, then the school's culture will totally crash. And then
Agree.
I can guarantee you one thing: when the kids know that there's division amongst the adults, chaos will ensue,
They
and
smell it.
that because and then we know I didn't even mention this question amongst this. When teachers talk about teachers in the classroom, that when Miss Smith talks about Mr. Rodriguez or Mr. Rodriguez talks about Mrs. Wilson, and then they say, "Oh, Mrs. Wilson, you know what Rodriguez said in the class?"
Mhm.
And then we don't address that undercurrent, and we have to address those things because in the end, that's totally a sabotage to the vision of the campus
True.
administration because of all this about not being consistent, Melissa Jones Chunu, give me a number between 1 and 15. Let me take out my AI. 1 and 15. Come on. Come on. They divide. Yes. Yes, Shika. And especially if you're at a little school, there's a difference between
Yes.
if you're at a big school, a big 6A school in Texas that has 3,000 kids, it's different than a school like Memorial with 215.
Yeah. I agree. Totally. Thank you, Melissa. Number 7, Josh. Number
7.
7. Lucky 7.
I do or don't agree with Jerry Brooks that there is professional jealousy in education because
Josh, there's jealousy
los
everywhere.
hate. One of my favorite podcasts is a Mexican wrestler. His name is Latin Lover. Latin and I never heard the way that people they say in Mexican Spanish haters.
The
They say
haters.
los haters. Ah, los haters. Ah. And then they did a new version of that. With the way they say it in Spanish, and I hear on his podcast in Spanish, te echan hate.
They
Te echan hate. Those of you in Mississippi might not get that, but we created our own version of casting dispersions on you. You say te echan hate. So what do you think about that? Yes or no? There is professional jealousy in education.
There is professional jealousy. I mean, think about all those people that you can't do anything. Goes back to what we were talking about earlier. When you spotlight people, they start hating on them because they're like, oh, pues she's a favorite, la favorita, right? And then no, she can do no wrong because she's always the, sorry, I'm going to have to beep this out. She's the kiss beep because she's always doing these things and she can, it's those kinds of things that, so, but yes, there is professional hate, especially when you get promoted and you did it and you applied for the same job, something like that. It's like, you know what? It wasn't your time. You know, it wasn't your position to get. Wait for the next one, something like that. Or even promoting each other, which you do so well, Josh. And I honestly will tell you that I kept on pushing, and I still do today. You know, people that deserve to be moving on, to go to the next position, showcase them. Tell their boss they're doing a wonderful job, because we need more of that in this profession. We need more people to promote one another and praise one another. Because, Josh, I think there's more hate now because this culture is now allowing us to no longer filter what we say. Now they just say it like vomit. It's awful.
Right. And we get, I haven't seen anything to the different to the contrary, because Shika says it, Constant, Melissa, and that's a sad thing about it, because I like learning from other people.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy listening to people that have the street cred. Now, mind you, I'm not hating if I go and I listen to you and you're talking and you've never done it. That's, you don't have the receipts. So if I get asked about your session, if I get asked about your podcast, if I get asked, but you never walk those shoes, but you got a great philosophy behind it, I can't be 100% to where I'm saying, oh,
She's
man,
amazing.
boom.
Go see her.
Oh, man, David Arencibia, ooh, that cat right there, boom, he's got the street cred. He's presented across the country. He was, because he sat in the chair. So it's kind of hard, and I'm not hating that you're getting paid a lot of money for presenting. I'm not hating that you're writing books about it, but if you've never walked it, it's kind of hard for people to accept it, especially if you have some seasoning under your belt, successful. Because there's a difference between people that have been in the system and are not successful or toxic, and people that are and are. Because there's people that say, I've been in education for 28 years. And they're the first ones to do the teacher survey, destroying everybody. And then there's that same person that's been in the system for 28 years. I don't have time to do a survey because I'm a runner. I don't got time to fill that out. That's nonsense. I'm going to keep on doing my job that is right. That is right for the kids. And you know, and even Jefe talks about it. Yeah, I hear it, Jefe. And you know, you see people that try to copy Jefe. I'm listening to different individuals, and I go, did you give Jefe some credit, some love? Because I know that's a Principal Cafela thing, and it's about being educated on it. So I do believe that that's one of the things that really hurts us. And I'll tell you this in closing to this question before we go on to our next one. I think I talked about it on one of the podcasts I was interviewed in. When I became a principal, from one district to another one, remember, and you know this, I was blackballed in my first district. I was never allowed to become a principal there. And finally, you got to keep on working. People will see your work. You got to keep on working. Just keep on working. Those of you that are out there fighting it right now, some of you are fighting this in your brain. I was an assistant principal for 13 years. And in my original district, I was told I would never become a principal. But I never stopped. What you see me right now, I've never stopped doing. I'm very close to retirement, and I still don't stop. You have protocols, you have visions, and you got to keep on pushing through, like, you know, that train. You just got to be the bullet train. So when I arrived to a new district, I brought in all my social media, and my videos that I do, it's just what I've done, right? And then there was an administrator that was in our district. There was above the freeway and below the freeway, and obviously I got hired below the freeway because at that moment it was the worst school. They had two principals. Socorro had two acting principals. That's how bad it was. Okay.
Wow.
And that's what I walked into. And then I started doing all these things of promoting the positivity of the campus. And then, number one, the first thing, and I've talked to Shika about this, I'm not from that district. I came in from the neighbor district that was always at odds with that one. You know how you talked about your neighboring districts, not in a good light? Los haters, echándole hate.
Those haters.
And so you go in there and you're like, oh, you're from the other district. So I never was like, you're not one of them. Even though you're with them, you're not one of them. You know what I'm talking about? Don't treat people that way. If new people come in, don't treat them that way, especially if they have a vision or something. And so, long story short, that individual was moved below the freeway.
Oh,
That individual did not want to be moved to that. You know how that happens? Tis a season,
yeah.
right? So he got moved below the freeway, and he was part of our feeder pattern. The way it worked in our district, I pretty much led that area. In other words, there was my beautiful boss, Carmen Crose, but she let me support the middle school. So if one of our assistant principals will go down to the middle school to help him out, I helped everybody out. Hey, can you send me one of your APs? I would send him to the elementary, whatever it is, to help the whole feeder pattern. And so when he showed up, we were doing a fundraiser at a pizza place, Peter Piper Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
That's a local Texas thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go, hey, we got to record a video. We got to record a video, to invite people to come to the fundraiser. And then that individual sitting there, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm in one of your videos." And I'm thinking, no, you see, I'm not dumb. I'm not an idiot. I know people are talking about me. You don't have to. Your eyes tell me. Your body language tells me. I'm dumb in academics, but I'm good with body language. And I go, what do you mean? What do you mean by that, bro? He goes, yeah, man. We would see your videos and make fun of you. And I can't believe now that I can't believe that now I'm doing it right now. Well, we're about to hit 3, 2, 1.
Cabron.
And I'm just telling you, just be careful. You just never know where you're going to end up working. You just never know who you're going to be working with.
That is so true.
And I don't know. I feel my system works. I feel my receipts work. And so if that's what that was out there, that was the first sign. No, not the first sign, one of many that, people will hate on us. And that's one of the bad things that we need to do to make sure that we stop instead of inspiring each other. And that's every time you see me post iron sharpens iron, that's because either I've learned from you or I want to learn from you or other people should learn from you. And that's the type of avenue we need right now, especially with a turnaround that we've had so much in our field. Closing thoughts on that one, Moreno. We got time for one more.
One more, that's it?
An
This was
hour?
good.
Mira,
This
1
was
hour?
good. Monday?
We've had 1 hour. Give me what? Give me another number. Somebody out there in the audience, give me a number. Come on. Yes, that happens a lot. People talked about
It does. It does. You never know who your boss is going to be. Let me tell you. I had a boss one time that a principal, had a principal friend. We would work together. We were both principals. And then one day she became my superior, my boss. And it's like, wow. So yeah.
12.
Always keep people together and people close because you never know.
12.
I guess 12.
Oh, Shika, my Lord, I got 12. Constance, we're gonna continue part 2 on Mother's Day.
Mother's
Day, Moreno. Moreno didn't know what I just said. This was coming. All right, because I booked this to be our show again on Mother's Day, okay?
Okay, yay! Mother's Day.
And you're like, dude, I made plans for Mother's Day. I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be with you, bro. All right, so here we go.
I'm actually going to be in South Texas on Mother's Day, so I'm going to be available.
Okay. So, oh my God, Chica, you should see when people said, oh, you're that guy that does a podcast. When I heard that, no, and it was not like oh, hey, you're that guy. No.
It's like you're that guy.
Right? And as a famous person always says, I love the haters. Échenme más hate.
I'm that person too, Josh. I like to go where haters are and they just kind of, I'll flaunt it, do it a little bit because to me, I get more energized. It's like, you know what? Yeah. I know my stuff. I have the street cred. I have the receipts. Let's do it.
Right. You better pre-record and take peanut cashew. No, the plans are already being made. All right, they're already made, Chica. They're already being made. All right, yes. All right, here goes the last card. The last card.
Number
No
12.
lightning round. Number 12, and we will continue this talk again. I do don't don't agree that someone out of district should take an open slot in my district because I do or don't agree that someone out of district should take an open slot in my district because.
Josh, that's an easy one for me.
What is it? Why are you quiet? Why are you quiet, bro?
No, Josh, for real. No. Okay, so let me tell you this. I believe in the best qualifying person for that role. So whether you're in district or you're out of district, I think it's important to again, iron sharpens iron. And if it means that if you're out of district, now you got to come in knowing that you're going to have to learn a new district, right? Because each district is different, right? So as long as that person coming in knows that in our district, these are some protocols, these are some things that you need to follow, right? And be open, communication, whatever. If you're going to be in my school and I'm the principal, so I'm your boss per se, or you're coming in as an office office personnel, as long as you know that you are coming into a new district, I don't mind, as long as you have the street cred, you have your resume, and you are the best qualifying person for that role. Because from there, we can learn from each other and we can grow more teachers, more people, more employees, so that they can understand and better learn from each other. So I don't really necessarily believe that we got to keep our own. If there's another person who's better qualified, as long as you're teaching others, you got to be able to then share that knowledge with other people. What do you say? Because I know you probably disagree with me.
Dr. Chunu, do believe because people have perspectives to offer. If it works, it works. If not, move on. Okay. For me, no, I agree with you. Whatever the right fit is in regards to that position, whatever the right fit is, and it comes down to the person making the decision for. But when you're making that decision, tell me yes or no, Shika. Jefe, tell me yes or no. When you're making that decision, you're also making the decision of how you might overstep someone that has been there and wants that position and you know it. So you're on a committee. You know that there's this rock star 2 districts down. You've met them at a conference. They apply. They blow away the committee because you know that they bring that rock star mentality to it. But that person that has been groomed, because I say, I've been told I'm the next one. I've been told I'm the next one. You've heard that, Moreno. Oh, you've heard that people have been told they're the next one and they don't get the job. This also goes for head football coaches. I was next. I've been here. I was next. I've been here and I should have been the next football coach. And what happens is sometimes they become the saboteurs to the new person. So my point is I agree with you, but it's a very hard decision because people just say, oh, I was next, or do you bring the right person in? Have you ever had
a rubric?
A rubric, but still you still got to put up with the politics of it, Moreno.
I understand that, but it goes back to if you have a set of, I mean, if there's gray area, I get it. But if you have some kind of rubric and place everything in order, what's important, what's not important, what supersedes, because it's not always about tenure. It can't be.
Okay. I'm going to throw in a curve at you, Moreno. And it's true about now if they don't know how to work with a team. Exactly. Here goes, Moreno. Ready? What if that person that is next in line is cousin or married to the president of the board?
Chihuahua, ya vas a comenzar con los small districts, okay? Because that's exactly why.
No, that happens. That happens in H-Town. That's not true. That's
I
not
know you're gonna
true.
throw H down in the mix.
That's not true.
I know it's not true. But you know what? Let me it goes back to what I just saw it on here, where it talks about, again, going back to knowing somebody on the board or whatever. Josh, at the end of the day, it goes back to you got to put the best people in front of your students. That's what's important. And yes, Hefe, politics are real. I get it. I completely get it. A small district in South Texas is facing that today because they even hire the custodians. I mean, they hire people have a lot of influence, and that's why I said small districts because I see it more in smaller districts than in larger districts. But at the end of the day, I think it's important for us to put the right people in front of our children, our students.
Oh, I agree 100%. And I like what Shika says, and I believe that she's a loyalist, growing your own, growing your own. But sometimes you do need those clean eyes. You need those
Josh,
clean
let me
eyes.
let me tell you what happened to me. Okay. I was a principal of a large school. And the assistant principal was leaving. And so this person was promised to be the new assistant principal, right? And so when she came to me, because I was doing all the interviewing, I told her, you have to interview like everybody else. She interviewed with everybody else, but she wasn't strong enough. And her thing was, but I'm bilingual. And I said, I have other people on my staff that's bilingual. So that can't be the person that you supersede. But what I ended up choosing somebody else, okay? Let me tell you what happened. And I know this is being recorded, so I'm going to be careful what I say. Talk about negative lying stuff about me that she started kind of putting out there because she was so upset that she didn't get the job that she then decided to, again, your haters going after me and saying, well, she didn't do this or she's doing that. The good thing is I had a good staff. Everything from stealing money to, I mean, just little things like that, which I don't even touch. I don't touch money. So you could have, they did all this investigation and everything. And of course I was exonerated of all of that. But that's what we're talking about, haters. When people kind of, when you don't give them the job and they expected it, and then they're going to go after you in a different way. So that's the real politics behind, people like us that sit in the chair and stuff happens to us because they didn't get their way. But,
Yeah, right. And just to piggyback on that, and I'll share it. Um, Obviously, because it's anecdotal to me, and when I got hired from the neighboring district to Socorro district, my very first principal meeting, I think it was June, July, whatever, when I got hired in the summer. First of all, the previous district did not want to release me. This
no
is
wonder you would say
this
that.
is the
Just
one.
release them.
This is the one that blackballed me and wouldn't release me as an AP. Okay. And then I got hired, everything, you go through meeting with the superintendent. And then our very first admin meeting with all the principals, there was like a little break. And then he calls me, well, my boss, she calls me, goes, Josh, come here. I go, yes. And then she takes me to his office. So she takes me to his office, and I'm like, hold on. I'm not warm and fuzzy. I'm just the optics of this. And then she takes me to the superintendent's office and goes, hey, Josh, hey, what's up? Something, I got a weird phone call. And then I'm like, okay. Yeah. One of the board members called about you. And one of the current district board members. And I go, oh, okay. And then he goes, well, because a board member from the other district had called them asking why they hired me because things were going to go bad.
Wow.
This was like new. I mean, like, Yeah, I'm new in the district. I'm new in a brand new area. You didn't want me. You didn't want me to apply. You don't want to release me. All this stuff. And now a board member is calling another board member, and then that board member, who's the boss of the superintendent, calls me. He goes, Josh, do you know why they're doing this? I go, I have no idea. I could let you know that I will make sure that things change. But when people speak about you, you have no control over that.
Right.
You have no whatever people say about you. But there's a reason why you all interested me to come in here, and I could look at you in your face right now, and tell you I have no idea. But if it goes from one board member to another board member for a position like that, that's what I'm saying. When you do select somebody, there's always an undercurrent about that. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts?
Josh, you just got, I mean, being people want to be principals. Let me tell you, what they don't know is all this other stuff that happens behind the background, because you become not only maybe a fabulous principal, but then you also become the most hated person on campus too, because of the things, the decisions that we have to make. And you have to kind of take it all into consideration and understand why you're doing what you're doing, and, stick to your ground. So, I'm so sorry that happened to you, Josh, but you know what? You know what? You're a much better person, and you overcame all of that, just like I overcame all of that stuff that happened to me. And at the end of the day, this person moved on and ended up becoming, I think, an AP somewhere else. I don't know. What's funny about it all, Josh, is that this person put me as a reference, and this other campus, I was like, why? Why would you do that? But it doesn't matter. I life went on, and I mean, I talked about her character as far as what she did at the school. I can't admit it professional, because at the end of the day, we got to move on.
Exactly. And it's one of those things that I put out there, and that I could only be me. And I wholeheartedly believe that that which does not kill me only makes me stronger. And
Yep.
I'm one of those that thrives off of the toxicity. It's one of those things that, as long as you're doing right by kids,
Yes.
just stick to it. And a lot of people are haters. Los haters, they're gonna te van a echar hate because
Mm-hmm.
they're not that advocate. They're not that person that's willing to stay up and travel to visit kids at their quinceañera, at their basketball game. They're not willing. And people hate those who make them feel their own inferiority. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
very important that you just do right by kids, do
Yeah.
by those people that you're in charge of in your sphere of influence, and just keep on pushing ahead. Don't let, because there will always be toxicity. Doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure there's toxicity in Whataburger. When I worked at Village Inn, like a version of IHOP, there was toxicity there. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter where you go, there's always toxicity. But as long as you believe in what you're bringing to the table, as long as you're doing right by kids, as long as you're doing all those things that you feel confident in, as Jefe always talks about, looking in the mirror, the
Yes.
clean mirror, and making sure that you're doing right by everybody else, starting with what your philosophy is, you will always have our Lord and Savior behind you. You will always have Him protecting you. And yes, you're going to face adversity. He tells you, our Lord and Savior tells you, you will face adversity, but don't look
Mhm.
away. Hold on tight. And during tough times, I can tell everybody out there, during the tough times sitting in the chair, during tough times during testing season, during tough times when you're driving that bus, during tough times when the kids don't want to eat the cafeteria food, during tough times when you are at a football game and you lost the state championship by 1 point, our Lord and Savior will be by you because He's
Mhm.
granted you with so many gifts in life. And a
True.
gift that we have is all of you out there. Thank you very much for being here for episode 100. Haciendo
100.
Tamales con Mari. And it's okay for Mari and I to not agree. But you know what? There's one thing that I know I can share with this woman right here, our love for kids and our passion for education. And that's the number one bonding thing that we share with all our audience, our Fantastic Four family. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you. Tacosta, Ajito. I'm waiting for your shirt, bro. He got a PGP podcast in Ghana. I'm waiting for that picture, sir. Send me that
Did
picture.
he get it?
Yes, he finally got it. He finally
He
got it.
did get it.
And next week, another new route that we're taking on the PGP podcast, a new route, 5 head football coaches, not soccer, no soccer, mi gente, football, American football coaches
Americano. Football
from
americano.
Texas, from Iowa, from Georgia and Nevada. They're head football coaches in the biggest district in their state that were state champions. Come and tune in next week. And hopefully we got our technology in order and come and learn what it takes to create a football champion. But it's not about football. It's not about X's and O. It's about culture, climate, and leadership. Thank you very much, everybody. And we'll be back doing this. We'll be back doing this on Mother's Day. And I'll make sure I feed Cashew and Mother of Cashew. Thank you, everybody. Like and share right now. Like and share. We have 235 followers on YouTube. Give me 240. Give me 240. Let's go. Go to YouTube right now. Like it and share it. Trust me, I'm not getting a quarter tank of gas like Jefe. I'm not getting 1/8 tank of gas. I'm getting this much. I spend more money on the podcast, but I love it because it enriches me with the knowledge and the love of everybody out there. Moreno, say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everybody. 100. Yay.
Thank you. God bless you, everybody. Like and share it. Adios.
Peace.